In 1622, a Portuguese governor invited an African queen to a peace negotiation. He gave her no chair to sit on, only a floor mat. Like a servant, she looked at him, said nothing, and ordered one of her own attendants to kneel on all fours. Then she sat on his back as her throne. That queen was Nzinga of Ndongo, and she had only just begun. Nzinga was born around 1583 in the kingdom of Ndongo in what is now Angola. Her father was king, and from childhood he trained her in politics, diplomacy, and warfare, skills that were never meant for women. While other girls were kept away from power, Nzinga was being prepared for it. Her father saw something in her that no one else dared to acknowledge. By the early 1600s, Portugal had been pushing deep into Central Africa for decades. They wanted land, they wanted slaves. The kingdom of Ndongo sat directly in their path. When Nzinga's brother became king, Portugal intensified the pressure. He needed someone who could face them directly. He chose his sister. The Portuguese governor thought he could humiliate her before the negotiation even started. He sat on a raised throne. He offered Nzinga only a floor mat. The message was clear: "You are beneath me." Nzinga refused to accept it. She ordered an attendant to kneel on all fours. She sat on his back, and she negotiated from that position as a complete equal. She left with a peace agreement that protected her kingdom. The governor sent word back to Lisbon. This woman was unlike anyone they had ever faced. Her brother died. Many historians believe he was driven to it by relentless Portuguese pressure. Nzinga became ruler. But her own nobles challenged her. Women were not supposed to rule. Portugal refused to honor the peace agreement she had negotiated, and a rival kingdom called Matamba surrounded her from another direction. She was queen of a kingdom that was doubted, betrayed, and under siege. Most rulers would have surrendered. Nzinga chose war. Nzinga did something no African ruler had done before. She recruited escaped slaves. She welcomed African soldiers who had defected from the Portuguese army. She built a guerrilla force, fast, loyal, and fearless. And she led from the front. She wore warrior clothing. She carried weapons. She commanded battles in person. Her soldiers were not loyal to a crown. They were loyal to her. She was not a queen who watched from safety. She was in the fight. When Portugal finally forced her out of Ndongo, Nzinga did not collapse. She turned her army toward the neighboring kingdom of Matamba and conquered it. Matamba became her new base, stronger, further from the coast, harder for Portugal to reach. She fortified it. She expanded it. She used it to launch counterattacks. In one move, she turned a defeat into a stronger position. This was the military mind of Queen Nzinga. Nzinga understood something most African rulers missed. Europe's powers were enemies of each other. Portugal and the Netherlands were at war. So she sent diplomats to the Dutch and formed an alliance. In 1641, Dutch forces captured Luanda, Portugal's colonial capital in Angola. Nzinga's army attacked from land at the same time. For a brief moment, Portugal's entire hold on Angola collapsed. A 58-year-old African queen had just coordinated a two-front war against a European empire. And she was winning. What makes Nzinga truly extraordinary is not one battle or one clever move. It is that she kept fighting for over 40 years. From her 20s to her 80s, she resisted Portuguese colonization. When diplomacy worked, she used diplomacy. When war was needed, she went to war. When her kingdom was taken, she built another. Portugal sent governor after governor to defeat her. None of them could. She outlasted them all. After Nzinga died in 1663, at the age of 80, Portugal did what colonial powers always did. They rewrote the story. They called her a savage. They minimized her victories. Her name was removed from European history books entirely. For centuries, the world knew Napoleon, Alexander the Great, every European conqueror. But Nzinga A woman who held off a European empire for 40 years was reduced to a footnote, if she was mentioned at all. This is the history they did not want you to know. Today, Nzinga is recognized as Angola's greatest national hero. There is a statue of her in Luanda, in the very city Portugal used as their colonial capital. Her image appears on Angolan currency. Across Africa, women named their daughters Nzinga as a symbol of power and defiance. She did not just fight for her kingdom, she fought for the idea that African people would not bow. That legacy never died. If this story moved you, share it. Every person who watches this is one more person who knows the truth. Subscribe to Africa Untold, because we are just getting started. There are hundreds of stories like Nzinga's, buried, erased, and waiting to be told. We are going to tell all of them. Drop a comment below. Did you know about Queen Nzinga before today?